What does it take to break the rules, to shatter expectations and redefine what gaming means in 2025? You're about to find out these are not just games. They're declarations, statements, milestones, but every one of them? They've broken the mold, challenged convention, and set a new bar for what interactive entertainment can be. A quick heads up before we begin, this list includes a mix of titles, some that have already launched, others that are upcoming, and a few still shrouded in rumor. So if you don't see them on store shelves just yet, don't worry, they may be just around the corner. Let's begin with a few that have already made their mark, not quietly, but like thunderclaps. What happens when a console visual masterpiece is unleashed on PC? You get Stellar Blade Reborn. With ultra-high frame rates, refined lighting, and mouse precision that changes the game, this isn't just a port, it's a revelation. This isn't just about fidelity, it's about fluidity. From dynamic hair physics to real-time environmental detail, it looks and feels like a next-gen showcase designed to make your GPU sweat. If you haven't witnessed how this beauty performs on ultra settings, it's time. And with modding potential on the horizon, we might be entering a whole new dimension of fan creativity. This is how console exclusivity becomes community expression, and the possibilities are just beginning. The game's narrative follows Eve, a warrior from an off-world colony sent to reclaim Earth after it's overrun by grotesque alien creatures known as Natiba. As she fights to uncover the truth behind the planet's downfall and her own forgotten memories, players are taken through towering ruins, high-tech wastelands, and beautifully corrupted environments. Originally released on PlayStation 5 in April 26, 2020 for the PC version arrived in June 12, 2025 with expanded visual options, ultra-wide support, and unlocked frame rates. Stellar Blade is available on PlayStation 5 and PC Steam and Epic Games Store. Priced at $59.99 for the Standard Edition and $79.99 for the Deluxe Edition, which includes digital art, cosmetics, and the original soundtrack. The game has been met with strong praise for its cinematic combat, responsive controls, and strong hero in design. On social media, fans have shared impressive modded visuals and photo mode shots, while critics highlight its blend of spectacle and mechanical depth. For many, it's a flagship example of how single-player action games can still dominate in the age of live service fatigue. Darkness has never been this rich. Tainted Grail 1.0 emerged from the shadows and brought with it a full-bodied, broken Arthurian world where death whispers in every corner. It's not just an RPG, it's a decaying myth brought back to life. Every quest is wrapped in dread, every choice echoes with weight. We already covered this gem in depth on the channel, check it out if you haven't. It's a game that dares to be both epic and unsettling. And in a sea of safe medieval fantasies, this one chooses rot, despair, and consequences. With haunting environmental storytelling and a sense of inevitable doom, this is a fantasy that confronts mortality head-on. Set in a cursed version of Avalon, where King Arthur is long dead and hope has vanished, you play as a nameless hero returning to a fractured world ruled by twisted knights, corrupted sorcerers, and ancient magic gone awry. The game reinterprets Arthurian legends through a lens of decay and despair, placing heavy emphasis on difficult moral choices and survival in a land overtaken by wordness, a supernatural force of chaos. Tainted Grail, The Fall of Avalon officially launched out of early access on March 28, 2025, and is currently available on PC via Steam and GOG. Console versions are expected later in the year, with Xbox Series XS as the most likely target. Priced at $39.99, it has been praised for delivering a robust open-world RPG experience with strong atmosphere and world-building on a mid-budget scale. On Steam, the game has garnered a very positive rating, with players lauding its dark storytelling, impactful quests, and uniquely oppressive tone. One top-rated review describes it as Skyrim meets Dark Souls, but written by Edgar Allan Poe, On Reddit, it's earned cult favorite status among fans of grimdark fantasy and narrative-driven exploration. This isn't just another fantasy RPG, it's a descent into beautiful, poetic rot. What if you could slash like Dante, glide like Noctis, and feel like you're in a high-speed anime? That's Lost Soulslike, fast, flashy, and unapologetically fun. After years of waiting, it delivers. And yes, it was worth the wait. Combat is kinetic, UI minimal, and the sense of motion effortless. This is the closest gaming has gotten to playing a full-length animated action movie. It's not just about spectacle, it's about flow, about chaining beauty into brutality, and doing it with style. It merges East and West sensibilities in a way few action games dare, and does so with stunning confidence. The story follows Kazan, a lone swordsman bonded to a mysterious symbiotic entity named Arena, as they traverse a war-torn world filled with ancient technology and mutated monsters. Kazan uncovers dark truths about the past and his role in an impending cataclysm. The game weaves themes of memory, identity, and sacrifice into its high-octane storytelling. Lost Soulslike was officially released on August 29, 2025 for PlayStation 5 and PC Epic Games Store, with a PlayStation 4 version also surprisingly well optimized. It's priced at $59.99, with a deluxe version including a digital art book and soundtrack. Reception has been enthusiastic, especially among fans of stylish action games. On Twitter and Reddit, players have compared it to Devil May Cry 5 and Final Fantasy 15, calling it a love letter to classic hack and slash with anime soul. Combat depth, performance optimization, and character designs are praised, while some wish for more open exploration. Still, for a game born from a solo developer's dream, Lost Soulslike has defied expectations. This is the rhythm of violence. Phantom Blade Zero plays like a wuxia ballet drenched in oil and blood. The speed is unreal. The mood, unmistakably lethal, blink, and you'll miss it. From feudal grind to cyberpunk flourishes, it dances between genres like its protagonist dances through swords. And its combat is a language, not just button mashing, but choreography with consequence. The game follows Soul, a dark swordsman afflicted with a curse that grants him only 66 days to live. Desperate for answers and vengeance, he navigates an empire ruled by secret societies, mechanical beasts, and undead warriors. The story is non-linear, built through fragmented memories and choices that alter who you trust and who betrays you. Phantom Blade Zero is expected to launch in late 2025 on PlayStation 5 and PC, with Xbox ports possible in 2026. It is built in Unreal Engine 5 and supports cinematic 60 FPS combat animations. Estimated price is $59.99, with collector's editions teased featuring a katana replica and art book. The combat system has stunned players and critics alike. It features animation canceling, parry timing, and position-based finishers that reward aggression with flair. Some fans call it Sekiro on speed, while others highlight the game's painterly violence and steampunk meets wuxia design. It's fast, brutal, and oddly graceful, a contradiction that just works. You thought chaos couldn't be topped? Think again. Borderlands 4 crashed onto the scene like a psycho with a rocket launcher, louder, crazier, and more unhinged than ever before. Set on the mysterious new planet Chiros, this isn't just another treasure hunt. It's a war zone, an ecosystem, and a playground of weaponized insanity. Think dynamic environments, physics-driven mayhem, and enemies that evolve to fight back harder the longer you survive. The story, Vex and her robot companion Ruffa aren't your typical vault hunters. They're rebels fighting for survival in a post-corporate wasteland where loot isn't just shiny, it's political. This chapter leans deeper into satire and world building, expanding the Borderlands universe while never forgetting its soul, bullets, buddies, and big-ass explosions. Officially launching on September 12, 2025, the game hits PC, PS5, Xbox Series XS, and Nintendo Switch 2, with crossplay and 4-player drop-in co-op ready from day one. Fans on Reddit are already calling it the Mad Max RPG we've been waiting for, and early hands-on impressions praise the new enhancement system that lets you mix abilities from multiple classes. If you've been away from Borderlands, this is your wake-up call. If you've never played it, welcome to the party. Just remember, ammo solves everything. Co-op horror never looked so charmingly disturbing. This isn't just a sequel, it's a step into shared fear. From the minds that brought you twisted childhood dreams, now comes a duet of dread. Each puzzle is a performance, each monster a metaphor. And if you love this franchise, you should absolutely watch our gameplay breakdown of the Necropolis demo. We dug deep into what makes this installment so intriguingly eerie. The co-op dynamic adds a layer of trust and terror. Will your partner save you, or hesitate just long enough to let the dark swallow you whole? And visually, this might be the most macabre fairy tale yet. The dreamlike becomes nightmarish in a blink. The story follows two new protagonists, Lo and Alone, as they attempt to escape the distorted world of nowhere. Unlike previous games, Little Nightmares 3 is built around cooperative mechanics. Both players must collaborate to solve puzzles, distract monstrous beings, and uncover hidden lore fragments. Each character has unique abilities, deepening gameplay and narrative tension. Little Nightmares 3 is set for release in early 2026, coming to PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. The game will feature both online and offline co-op, a first for the franchise. Price is expected at $39.99, making it accessible for fans old and new. Community response has been extremely positive. Fans on forums like Resetera and Discord are buzzing about the tone shift toward more interactive horror, while longtime players praise the airy audio design and twisted art direction. It's not just about escaping nightmares anymore, it's about surviving them together. This isn't a sequel, it's a spiritual reckoning. Ghost of Yutei takes everything that made Ghost of Tsushima a modern masterpiece, the samurai honor, the poetic landscapes, the intimate blade-to-blade duels, and reimagines it through a darker, colder lens. Set in 1603, during the Tokugawa unification of Japan, the story follows Atsu, an Ainu warrior turned fugitive in the icy wilderness of Ezo, now modern-day Hokkaido. Accused of assassinating a noble, Atsu is hunted by the shogunate and betrayed by the people he once fought for, but this ghost doesn't run, he fights. With rituals, wolves, and ancestral spirits whispering in the wind, this is a tale of survival, cultural identity, and supernatural vengeance. Ghost of Yutei is officially slated for release on October 2, 2025, launching first on PlayStation 5, with a PC version reportedly under consideration for a later date. While early trailers still use placeholder gameplay sourced from Ghost of Tsushima, fans remain deeply intrigued by its lore and atmospheric world building. From minute ceremonial masks to ancient forest spirits and the haunting snowscapes of Ezo. On Reddit and Japanese gaming forums, it's being hailed as an untapped corner of history finally coming to life, blending folklore, resistance, and revenge into one unforgettable ghost story. It's not just about slicing through enemies, it's about reclaiming a stolen story. And when this snow falls, the ghost will rise. Turn-based combat, real-time tension, philosophical weight, artistic fire. This game doesn't just play differently, it thinks differently, it asks, what if death was scheduled? What if memory was power? From French artistry to haunting enemy design, it's a game of ideas wrapped in style. If you haven't seen our deep dive into this stunner, now's the time. It's the kind of game that dares to ask questions most games avoid, and does so with a painter's brush and a poet's voice. Expect to be surprised, emotionally stirred, and tactically tested all at once. Set in a surreal world where humanity is being culled 1 year at a time, the story follows the 33rd expedition, a group of warriors determined to break the cycle by eliminating the mysterious paintress, a godlike entity who erases individuals from existence through painted executions. The narrative explores themes of grief, legacy, memory, and existential defiance in a decaying Parisian-inspired backdrop. Clair Obscur Expedition 33 was officially released on April 24, 2025, and is now available on PC via Steam, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X as developed by Sandfall Interactive using Unreal Engine 5. The game delivers a surreal, painterly visual style paired with deep turn-based combat and philosophical storytelling. Praised for its unique aesthetic and emotional depth, it has already sparked strong reactions across platforms. The standard edition is priced at $59.99, with additional editions offering cosmetic and soundtrack bonuses. Initial buzz from the gaming community has been strong, with media outlets like IGN and GameSpot highlighting it as one of the most artistically ambitious RPGs in development. On Reddit, fans have compared it to Persona Crossed with Dark Souls, while others praise its distinctive painterly aesthetic and bold story premise. It's shaping up to be one of the most original new IPs of the year, a game that dares to ask, what if your death was art? What if every swing of your sword felt like a scream into the void? Kazan channels D and F lore into a brutal Soulslike where rage isn't an emotion, it's a mechanic. From its cursed protagonist to its blood-stained arenas, it speaks a language of brutality. We've explored its roots, its combat, and its pain. Highly recommend our full analysis on the channel. It's the kind of game that leaves a scar. It's also a masterclass in atmosphere and punishment. Every room, every enemy, every choice punishes hesitation. The story centers on Kazan, a disgraced general of the Pelos Empire who was betrayed and executed, only to be resurrected by a mysterious force to seek vengeance. As Kazan journeys through ruined cities and cursed temples, he battles monstrous soldiers and unearthly creatures to uncover the truth behind the Empire's fall and his own death. The narrative is dark, drenched in myth and betrayal, and told through cryptic encounters and relics. The first Berserker, Kazan, was officially released on March 27, 2025, and is now available on PC, Steam, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X as developed by Meeple. This dark fantasy action RPG immerses players in a brutal, blood-soaked world inspired by the lore of Dungeon Fighter Online. The game has been praised for its weighty, Souls-like combat, grim atmosphere, and stylized cel-shaded visuals. The standard edition launched at $49.99, with fans highlighting its smooth performance, challenging boss fights, and striking character designs across platforms like Steam and Reddit. Fans on Reddit and YouTube are calling it a Korean blend of Nioh and Dark Souls with its own cruel flavor. Many praise the deliberate, punishing combat system and unique cultural flavor of the game's world building. The animation, especially the execution moves, has also become a standout talking point, visceral, stylized, and violent in a way that feels earned rather than gratuitous. Duality is power. In this dark fantasy, you don't just switch characters, you shift the battlefield. Every encounter is a dance of balance, every boss fight a test of synergy. With its painterly backdrops and haunting music, it offers strategy, emotion, and spectacle in equal measure. Think of it as a duet in Blood and Shadow. And with its blend of grim narrative and fluid combat, it feels like a soul opera, beautiful, brutal, and haunting in equal parts. The story revolves around the collapse of two realms, the surface world and a mirror realm infected by a spreading corruption. You play as Gasar, a warrior from above, and Yunji, a mysterious girl from the underworld, both intertwined by fate and memory. Their dynamic is both gameplay mechanic and narrative core, offering players layered combat and deep emotional storytelling. Ballad of Antara is scheduled for late 2025 release on PlayStation 5 and PC, with possible Xbox and Steam Deck support hinted but not confirmed. It will be free to play with premium content, similar to MiHoRo's model, although more story-focused. A deluxe campaign bundle is expected to retail around $29.99. Initial hands-on previews have been very positive. Critics highlight its striking visual design and responsive real-time combat, while community reactions praise its art direction and eerie creature design. The bond between Gassar and Uni, mechanically and emotionally, is already shaping up to be one of the year's most intriguing dynamics in gaming. Ecosystems evolve, so should your strategy. Wilds isn't just another hunt. It's a breathing world where the weather turns on you and the monsters rule with brutal elegance. Sandstorms, stampedes, territorial invasions, the world is alive and it doesn't care if you're ready. Prepare for the wildest entry in the franchise, both literally and figuratively. Each hunt is less about the beast and more about the biome. You're not just fighting monsters, you're surviving nature. The story takes place in the Forbidden Lands, a sprawling and unstable frontier where nature itself becomes an adversary. You play as a hunter recruited to uncover the region's secrets and tame its escalating chaos. The narrative is more structured than previous titles, with recurring NPCs, a faction system, and region-based lore evolving over time. Monster Hunter Wilds officially launched on February 28, 2025 for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, S, and PC, bringing with it full cross-platform multiplayer support and dynamic difficulty scaling. Developed by Capcom using the powerful Re-engine, the game pushes the series forward with advanced monster behavior, reactive environments, and a living, evolving ecosystem. Priced at $59.99, the release has been met with overwhelmingly positive feedback, with players on Steam and Reddit praising its ambitious open-world structure, deeper combat systems, and seamless transitions between biomes. Expansion content is expected to follow later this year. Monster Hunter fans are calling it the next-gen leap we've been waiting for. Highlights from previews include the seamless transitions between zones, mounts that evolve, and aggressive inter-monster turf wars that affect quest flow. Many believe this could be the franchise's defining entry for the decade. The dragon returns, and this time, he's sharper. Ninja Gaiden to Black is a full remaster of the legendary 2008 classic, rebuilt in Unreal Engine 5 for modern platforms. It preserves the game's punishing challenge while enhancing it with restored violence, upgraded visuals, and refined mechanics. What you remember, the speed, the brutality, is all there, but crisper, leaner, and more visceral. Officially released on January 24, 2025, this definitive version is now available on PC via Steam, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series XS. And it even launched day one on Xbox Game Pass, built by Koei Tecmo on Unreal 5. It supports 4K at 120 FPS and adds features like New Game Plus and modernized controls, while restoring the gore, frame rates, and difficulty settings true fans crave. Reception has been strong. Players on Reddit and Steam applaud its fluid, combo-heavy combat and faithful return to the original's intensity, though some note a few missing modes from the Sigma 2 edition. Reviews highlight that this isn't just nostalgia, it's an unapologetic revival of one of the most challenging action games ever made. You thought it was an RPG? Try cinematic chaos. Try open world surprise after surprise. Crimson Desert dares to be everything at once, and shockingly, it almost works. Almost. Keep your eyes on this one. It might be messy, it might be brilliant, it might be both. And that's why it matters. It's unafraid to be wild, imperfect, and ambitious, a rare thing in a genre that usually plays it safe. The game tells the story of Macduff, a mercenary caught in the violent power struggles of the continent of Pywell. Haunted by visions and bound to the fate of a fractured land, he must choose whether to fight for gold, for people, or for his soul. Crimson Desert mixes personal drama with political turmoil, adding mythological undertones that blur the line between history and legend. Crimson Desert is expected to release in winter 2025 for PC, PlayStation 5, And Xbox Series XS, the game will feature full voice acting in multiple languages and a hybrid combat system mixing skill-based duels with cinematic takedowns. Price is likely to start at $69.99. Preview coverage has been divisive but fascinated. Some call it a miracle of ambition, while others highlight rough animations or systems that feel half-baked. Still, everyone agrees it's bold. On YouTube and TikTok, clips of massive boss fights and skydiving sequences have gone viral. Whether it lands or stumbles, Crimson Desert is a conversation starter, and that's already a win. 2 leads, 2 styles, 1 revolution. Shadows brings Japan to life in a way the series has only ever dreamed of. Stealth and samurai, day and night, fluid and deadly. Neo and Yasuke aren't just characters, they're philosophies, assassin and warrior, shadow and blade. And for the first time in years, Assassin's Creed feels unpredictable again. Set during the late Sengoku period in feudal Japan, the game follows the protagonists, Neo, a shinobi from the Iga province, and Yasuke, a real historical samurai of African descent who served under Oda Nobunaga. Their paths intertwine in a Japan on the verge of unification, and players can alternate between the stealth-focused assassin gameplay and brute force sword combat. The game officially launched on March 20th, 2025, and is now available on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and PC via Ubisoft Connect. It released with a standard edition priced at $69.99, alongside gold and ultimate editions that included early access and a full DLC season pass. Fans have praised its rich world building, stealth combat balance, and polished performance across platforms, making it one of Ubisoft's most talked about launches of the year. Early previews have praised the level design, stealth mechanics, and dual character approach. On forums, fans are calling this the Ghost of Tsushima x Assassin's Creed crossover we never knew we needed. There's cautious optimism, but if Ubisoft pulls it off, this could be the franchise's most memorable setting in over a decade. What happens when you rip and tear through the gates of hell, only to find yourself in the Age of Kings, catapults, and chaos? Doom: The Dark Ages is id Software's most audacious move yet, a prequel that throws the Doomslayer into a world of medieval horror, ancient tech, and primal fury. Forget the BFG, now you're wielding a skull-crushing shield saw, flamethrowers mounted on dragons, and siege weapons that redefine overkill. Set in a time when hell wasn't just invading Earth but clashing with kingdoms lost to myth. This is Doom like you've never seen it, grim, grounded, but still faster than your reflexes can handle. Launching on May 15, 2025, for PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series XS Day 1 on Game Pass, the game has ignited a firestorm of excitement. Early previews hail its blend of brutality and world building, with Reddit threads calling it Doom meets Dark Souls but on turbo. The tech engine has never looked more visceral. Every swing, shot, and scream feels physical, immediate, and feral. If you thought hell was modern, the Dark Ages will show you that evil has roots, and it bleeds in steel. Magic isn't just a tool, it's a language, a force. In Obsidian's Avowed, you cast, slash, and control the world with the intimacy of a spellbook and the freedom of a sandbox. It's high fantasy with teeth. Think Skyrim, but more reactive, less generic, more personal. And with Obsidian's storytelling pedigree, expect nuance, depth, and decisions that ripple through everything. Set in the world of Yora from Pillars of Eternity, Avowed drops players into the Living Lands, a wild and tame frontier full of strange flora, twisted ruins, and magical infections. You play a Watcher armed with both steel and spell, tasked with confronting a spreading plague and the secrets behind its true origin. Avowed officially launched on February 19, 2025, and is now available on Xbox Series X and PC with Day 1 access via Xbox Game Pass, developed by Obsidian Entertainment. This first-person fantasy RPG set in the world of Yora from Pillars of Eternity delivers spellcasting, swordplay, and branching narrative choices. Priced at $59.99, the game has received strong praise from players for its rich world building, fast-paced combat, and immersive quest design, with many calling it Skyrim meets pillars on platforms like Reddit and Steam. Community reception has been warm, especially after the latest gameplay demo that showcased dual-wielded spellcasting and AI party companions. Many fans compare it favorably to the Outer Worlds, but with deeper lore. RPG purists are excited to see Obsidian return to full fantasy form, and it might be their most ambitious project since New Vegas. It hasn't launched yet, but it's already the most talked about game on the planet. Grand Theft Auto 6 is more than just a sequel, it's a cultural event. Set in the neon-lit sprawl of a reimagined Vice City, the game follows Lucia, the first female protagonist in GTA's history, as she and her partner tear through a modern crime saga inspired by American decay, social media excess, and the ruthless logic of survival. Rockstar Games has confirmed the game will release on May 26, 2026, launching first on PlayStation 5 to Xbox Series XS. A PC version has not been officially announced, but is widely expected to arrive later. The map is rumored to be the largest and most dynamic in Rockstar's history, featuring reactive NPCs, evolving weather, and deep environmental storytelling. The game has already shattered records. Its reveal trailer became the most viewed video game debut on YouTube within 24 hours. Across Reddit, YouTube, and TikTok, players are analyzing every frame, theory crafting about locations, hidden mechanics, and Lucia's backstory. This isn't just the next Grand Theft Auto, it's the next big moment in gaming. And the countdown to May 2026 has already begun. Horror has a new face, and it's blooming. Set in 1960s Japan, Silent Hill F is more fungus than fog, more myth than madness. And it might just be the boldest reimagining in the series. Body horror meets floral decay, fear grown organically. And in this new world, silence is not your refuge, it's your predator. The story is rumored to follow a young girl in a rural Japanese village haunted by supernatural forces and a slow, creeping infection tied to grief, guilt, and unresolved trauma. With a script penned by visual novel veteran Ryukishi 07 and creature design led by the team behind Neobard's Entertainment, the narrative leans into psychological decay and metaphor-laced horror. Expect beauty to bloom into grotesque. Konami has officially announced that Silent Hill F will be released on September 25, 2025. The game is confirmed for PlayStation 5, and while PC and Xbox Series XS versions have not yet been formally detailed, industry speculation suggests they may follow after a period of timed exclusivity. Pricing and special editions remain under wraps, but fans are already buzzing about what may come, from collector's bundles to lore-deep companion books. Anticipation continues to build across communities like Reddit and Resetera, with many calling it the most haunting direction the series has ever taken. Reaction from fans and horror communities has been explosive. Many are praising the return to cerebral, dread-filled tension rather than action-heavy pacing. Others are dissecting symbolism in the trailer frame by frame, drawing connections to Japanese folklore and Silent Hill's broader mythology. It's mysterious, it's bold, and it might just resurrect the franchise in a direction no one saw coming. One name, Grace Ashcroft. One setting, the Wrenwood Hotel. If the leaks are true, Requiem could be the umbrella that ties it all together. Old threats, new horrors, a legacy continued. And we'll be ready the moment it becomes real. This isn't just another sequel. It's the dark mirror that might finally reflect everything Resident Evil has been becoming. According to reliable industry insider Dusk Golem, Resident Evil 9 has been in development since 2018 under the working title Requiem. The story is rumored to follow Grace Ashcroft, a character possibly linked to Elisa Ashcroft from Resident Evil Outbreak, as she investigates terrifying occurrences at the remote Wrenwood Hotel. This location is described as an open zone, semi-linear hub featuring supernatural overtones, dense atmosphere, and shifting environments that reflect psychological decay. Capcom has officially announced that Resident Evil 9 will launch on February 27, 2026. The game is set to release on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and PC, continuing Capcom's commitment to simultaneous multi-platform launches for its flagship titles. While story details remain under wraps, early teasers and leaks have sparked intense speculation across fan communities. From eerie forest settings to mysterious new characters like Grace Ashcroft, anticipation is sky high, with fans on Reddit already calling it the most ambitious Resident Evil yet. Community anticipation has surged across platforms like Reddit and Resetera, where discussions have highlighted excitement over the series' rumored return to pure survival horror with limited resources, slower pacing, and investigative storytelling. Fans are also curious whether this title will bridge older lore, like the Daylight Virus and Spencer Foundation, with the newer Winter Saga. While it's still technically a rumor, the pieces are lining up. Grace Ashcroft might be the next iconic face of the franchise, and if the Renwood Hotel is anything like the Baker Estate or Spencer Mansion, we're in for something unforgettable. As the leaks pile up, one thing is clear: survival horror fans are ready for a new nightmare. Hideo Kojima returns, and with him comes another surreal odyssey, one that walks the line between masterpiece and madness. Death Stranding 2 On the Beach continues the legacy of a game that defied genre and expectation. This time, Sam Porter Bridges is not just reconnecting America, he's diving deeper into the metaphysical, the emotional, and the apocalyptic. Set in a fractured world where the boundary between life and death has all but dissolved, the game explores the consequences of the Death Stranding event. This sequel introduces new characters like Fragile's expanded role, mysteries surrounding Higgs, and an even more surreal narrative canvas, complete with sentient puppets, blood-coated ships, and multi-dimensional storms. Death Stranding 2 On the Beach is officially set to launch on June 26, 2025, exclusively for PlayStation 5. While no PC version has been confirmed yet, fans anticipate a future release based on the precedent set by the first game. Directed by Hideo Kojima, the sequel continues Sam Porter Bridges' journey through a fractured world, with new allies, cryptic warnings, and haunting imagery that pushes the limits of cinematic storytelling. The standard edition is priced at $69.99, and expectations are sky high, with the community buzzing about everything from new gameplay mechanics to the unsettling tone teased in trailers. The fanbase is buzzing. Reddit and Resetera threads are ablaze with frame-by-frame trailer breakdowns, theory crafting, and praise for Kojima's ambition. Some call it a cinematic event disguised as a video game, while others are simply thrilled to walk alone, together, once more. Whether you loved or loathed the first game, this sequel demands your curiosity. And if you're ready to carry the weight again, this speech awaits. You've seen what 2025 is made of. Now the only question is, which limit are you ready to break next? Don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the games that push the medium forward. And if one of these games made your jaw drop, let us know in the comments. We're just getting started. Got a game you'd love us to cover next? Or think we missed one that deserves a spot in this list? Drop it in the comments below. Your suggestion might be our next big breakdown.